بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome everyone to class number 12 of Arabic 301, Introduction to Balaagha. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, so far we have studied the signs of ilm al-ma'ani, and we've covered al-khabar wal-insha, as well as al-taqdeem wal-ta'khir, as well as al-dhikr wal-hadf, as well as al-qasr. And today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to cover al-wasl wal-fasl, and we're going to just provide a brief introduction to the last portion of ilm al-ma'ani, dealing with al-ijaz wal-itnab wal-musawah. And then in the next class, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, next week, we're going to complete these three topics, al-ijaz wal-itnab wal-musawah. And then after that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll move on to ilm al-bayan. So let's begin with today's topic, dealing with al-wasl wal-fasl. So what is al-wasl and what is al-fasl? What are we going to speak about? Well, this section deals with instances when sentences are connected to each other with a waw. Okay? So basically we're going to deal with two sentences and when they are connected with waw and when they are not connected with the waw. Yani al-waw al-atifa. Okay? If two sentences are connected with the harf al-atf known as waw, yani waw al-atifa, then the sentence is referred to as wasl. It's referred to as al-wasl. Like, for example, قام علي وقعد عمرو. Ali stood and Amr sat. قام علي is one sentence, right? This is one independent sentence. And قعد عمرو is another independent sentence, right? Between these two sentences is the connector and or waw, okay, in Arabic. So because there's a connector waw between these two sentences, then this sentence is known as al-wasl. We refer to the sentence as being al-wasl. Yani this whole statement, these two sentences combined together will be known as al-wasl. قام علي وعمر قاعد. Ali stood and Amr is sitting. قام علي وعمر قاعد. قام علي is one independent sentence. عمر قاعد is another independent sentence. And the letter that is connecting these two sentences together is the waw. Okay, it's connecting them. All right. Therefore, this entire sentence as a whole will be referred to as al-wasl. You guys understand that? However, if two sentences are connected by another connector like the other huruf al-atf, like for example fa, thumma, aw, or if there's no connector at all, then the sentence will be referred to as al-fasl. What is al-fasl? Al-fasl is basically when that waw is not present. When that waw is not present. In this instance, we call these sentences as al-fasl. Let's take a look at some examples. قام علي ثم دخل عمرو. قام علي ثم دخل عمرو. Ali sat, ثم then دخل عمرو. Amr entered. Okay? Because there's no waw here, but there's a thumma instead, this whole entire sentence will be referred to, or this whole entire two sentences together, making one sentence, will be referred to as al-fasl. Okay? Likewise, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. This is an ayah beginning of Surah Al-Ra'd. يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. Notice that يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. Notice that, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. Notice that, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ Well, let's take a look at the thumma example first. قام علي is one sentence. دخل عمرو is another sentence, independent sentence. Between it is the harf عطف thumma. Therefore, the sentence is called الفصل. Likewise here, يدبر الأمر is one complete sentence, and يفصل الآيات is another complete sentence. Okay, but notice there's nothing in between. Okay, there's nothing in between these two sentences. This is an example of when there's no connector at all. All right, this is another example of a sentence being al-fasl. So sentences that are known as al-fasl can be one of two things. Either there's going to be a harf atf other than waw between two sentences, or there'll be no connector whatsoever. Now in this class, inshallah ta'ala, now that we know what is al-wasl and we know what is al-fasl, we are going to learn those instances when it is obligatory to add the waw between two sentences, thus becoming wasl. And we'll learn those instances when it is obligatory to either erase the waw completely or mention another harf atf in its place. And thus, those sentences will be known as al-fasl. So basically, we're going to learn today when a sentence is fasl and when a sentence is wasl. All right? So let's begin, inshallah ta'ala. First, we're going to deal with those instances where sentences have to be al-wasl, okay? When it is obligatory to add the waw al-atf, and thus becoming al-wasl. And under this category, we'll mention only two different instances. But in reality, there are three. Okay, but we're mentioning two. Yani, باختصار. طيب, the first instance is if the two sentences are both either khabar or insha. Yani, sentence 1 and sentence 2 can be either both jumla khabariya or jumla insha'iyya, like we have here. So this would be the template we have. Jumla khabariya, right? Sentence 1 is jumla khabariya. Then sentence number 2, jumla khabariya, aydan. Okay? In this instance, when both of them are khabariya, this waw has to be inserted between them. This is the first template. The second template is what? If the first sentence is insha'iyya and the second sentence is also insha'iyya. All right, we study what jumla khabariya is, and we've studied what is jumla insha'iyya. Okay, so you see how revision is very important, because everything we learn is built on what we previously learned. Okay, and if you don't review what you previously learned, then you're going to be lost as you progress in the science. In this instance, if both sentence 1 and 2 are insha'iyya, then the waw becomes obligatory. You have to mention the waw. طيب. So this is correct. This is the correct template. And this is the correct template. These are two correct templates where you have to add the waw. Now, what about these two sentences here? These two templates here. Sentence 1 is jumla khabariya, but sentence 2 is jumla insha'iyya. Is it obligatory to add the waw here? No. It is not obligatory to add the waw there. What about if sentence 1 is insha'iyya and sentence 2 is khabariya? Is it obligatory to add the waw here? No. Once again, no. All right. So in these templates, it is not obligatory to add the waw. However, in the first two templates, sentence 1 and 2, if both of them are khabariya or both of them insha'iyya, then khalas, you have to add the waw. Let's take a look at some examples along with some exercises, okay? So pay attention. Okay, don't worry, inshallah, we'll get to that, inshallah, but I want you to understand what we're teaching right now, okay? Understand if jumla al-ula is khabariya and jumla thaniya is khabariya, khalas, you have to add the waw. Likewise, if jumla ula is insha'iyya wa thaniya insha'iyya, then you have to add the waw as well. So let's take a look at some examples. طيب. The man stood and Muhammad sat. The man stood and Muhammad sat. طيب. First thing we need to do is identify where are the two sentences. قام الرجل. We know that is one sentence. جلس محمد is the other sentence. Okay. Now we have to identify whether these sentences are insha'iyya or khabariyya. قام الرجل. Is it a khabariyya, jumla khabariyya, or jumla insha'iyya? Remember the difference between the two. Good. Khabariyya. Right? There's no talabi in there, nor is there any ghayr talabi. Right? There's no amr, there's no nahi, there's no istifham, there's no tamanni, etc. There's no qasam. So it is khabariyya. Mumtaz. So sentence one is khabariyya. We'll put like a kha here. What about the second sentence? Jalasa Muhammadun. Muhammad sat. Khabariyya or insha'iyya? Also khabariyya. Put a kha here. Okay. طيب, mumtaz. So because the first sentence is khabariyya, and the second sentence is khabariyya, guess what? We have to add the waw here. You have to add it. Okay? The waw has to be added. If you don't put a waw there, then that's incorrect. If you just said قام الرجل جلس محمد, that is incorrect. Okay? You have to add the waw here. Both of them are khabariyya. طيب. Now, what about the second example? جاءت السيارة اركب في جوفها. The car arrived, or the car came. Go inside the car, basically. في جوفها. طيب, the first sentence is what? جاءت السيارة. Right? The second sentence is اركب في جوفها. All right, so we've identified the two sentences. Mumtaz. Now we have to see whether these sentences are khabari or insha'iyya. جاءت السيارة, is it khabariya or insha'iyya? جاءت. It is a khabariya. Good, right? There's no talab, there's no request, right? There's no command, there's no nahi, there's no istifham, etc. So this is khabariya. What about irkab fi jawfiha? Go inside. Go inside of it. Insha'iyya or khabariya? Good. This is insha'iyya. All right. Put a sheen to denote insha'iyya. So because now we look at this example, we have the first sentence being khabariya and the second sentence being insha'iyya. Now we cannot add the waw. All right. We don't add the waw. We did not say جاءت السيارة واركب في جوفها. لا. Rather we said جاءت السيارة اركب في جوفها. خلاص. There's no waw there. Okay. So this is known as a sentence that is fasl. The first sentence قام الرجل وجلس محمد is a sentence that is known as to be الوصل. All right. Next example. قم واخرج. Stand and leave. قم واخرج. First sentence. قم. يعني قم أنت. واخرج. يعني أخرج. أخرج أنت. قم. جملة إنشائية أو خبرية؟ إنشائية. Put a sheen here. Okay. أخرج. Also a insha'iyya. Why? They're both commands. And we know commands fall under يعني insha'iyya. Insha. Okay. طيب. So because both of them are the same type, we have to add the waw here. The waw. We have to add the waw here. Okay. Another example. قم أخوك قادم. قم أخوك قادم. Stand, your brother is coming. Stand, get your brother is coming. طيب. First sentence is قم. Second sentence is أخوك قادم. قم, is this جملة إنشائية or خبرية? Good, it's a command, so it is إنشائية. Okay. أخوك قادم, your brother is coming. Is it إنشائية or خبرية? It is خبرية. All right. So because they differ, we don't add the wow. You don't add the wow. All right, ممتاز. So you guys understand the template here? Let's take a look at some examples in the Quran. First example here, إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم. Let's first identify where are the two sentences in these two verses. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم. This is the first sentence. Indeed, the pious will be in النعيم, يعني paradise. وإن الفجار لفي جحيم. And indeed, the wrongdoers will be in the fire, يعني النار. Okay, sentence 1, sentence 2. طيب, إن الأبرار في نعيم, is it جملة خبرية or إنشائية? Is there any type of طلب or غير الطلب in this sentence? Or is it informing you of something? Good, it's خبرية. What about إن الفجار لفي جحيم? That is also خبرية. Okay, so because both of them are خبرية, the wow has to be added in between them. The wow has to be added within in between both. ممتاز. What about this ayah? فَلْيَضْحَكُوا قَلِيلًا وَلْيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا. Surah Tawbah. We have two sentences. The first being, so let them laugh a little for a little while and cry much. وَلْيَبْكُوا يعني لِيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا. فَلْيَضْحَكُوا قَلِيلًا. Is this a خبرية or إنشائية? إنشائية is a command, right? What type of command is this? Like, what is the sigha? What makes it a command exactly? You have the lam al-amr. Good. What about the second sentence? وَلْيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا. يعني لِيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا. Is it خبرية or إنشائية? It is also إنشائية. Good. All right. Because of lam al-amr. So because both of these sentences are both إنشائية, we have to add the wow. Okay, the wow is placed in between both. All right. Here's another example. والذين لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ولا يزنون. In Surah Al-Furqan. We have a couple sentences here. First, والذين لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر, and those who do not invoke with Allah another God or deity. ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق, and do not kill another soul or a person which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made prohibited upon them except with due rights. ولا يزنون, and do not commit zina. So there are 3 sentences here. Good. So let's try to identify whether each sentence is khabariya or insha'iyya. First sentence, وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَدْعُونَ مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ. Is this insha'iyya or khabariya? Is there a command or nahi or istifham, etc. in here? This is insha'iyya. There's a nahi here. Good. Khabariya, mumtaz. Why is it khabariya? If it was a nahi here, what will be the sigha of لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر? Good. It'll be la tad'u, right? But because the thubut al-nun is there, we know the la here is nafiya and not nahiya. Okay? So as a result, it is khabariya. It is khabariya. Right? And if you look at the meaning. There's no talab in there or ghayr talab. Rather, وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَدْعُونَ مَا اللَّهِ إِلَهًا. Allah is informing us of those who do not invoke with Allah another God. وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. خبرية or إنشائية? How is إنشائية? What is insha about this part of the sentence? Good. خبرية as well. This is خبرية as well, right? Because لا نافية. And the last part of the sentence, ولا يزنون. خبرية إنشائية. Good. It's also خبرية. All right. Allah is informing us of those who do not invoke with Allah another God, and those who do not kill another prohibited except with due rights, and those who do not commit zina. So they're all three of these sentences are considered to be khabariya. Thus, we see the wow in between all three of them. There's a wow between all three of these sentences. Okay? You say, وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ وَلَا يَزْنُونَ. The wow was mentioned. Therefore, this is an example of wasl. Another example here, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. In Surah An-Nisa. Allah Azza wa Jalla says it, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ, and worship Allah, and do not, وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا, do not associate, do not take anything, don't worship anything along besides Him. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and be good to your parents, and do yani ihsan, perfection towards your parents. Good. Let's identify the sentences first. وَاعْبُدُوا, first sentence. Second sentence, وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. And third sentence, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ, يعني بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ. Okay. لَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Let's keep the wow out. All right. We have three sentences here. اعبدوا الله. اعبدوا الله. خبرية إنشائية. Good. This is insha. Why? Because it's a command. It's a command verb. اعبدوا الله. يعني طلبي. لا تشركوا به شيئا. Is it إنشائية or خبرية? Good. إنشائية. It's a nahi. Okay. A nahi. Right? Now you see the حذف النون. Because لا الناهية. لا تشركوا. You're not saying لا تشركون. لا. ممتاز. What about وبالوالدين إحسانا? That has to be خبري. صح? جملة خبرية. It has to be. Subhanallah. إنشائية. Why is it إنشائية? What makes it إنشائية? Why is it إنشائية? It's a command? I don't see any command verb here. I don't see the lam al-amr. Where's the lam al-amr? It's not there. There's no command verb in there. No. ممتاز. حانية. ما شاء الله. أحسنت. مصدر نائب فعل أمر. يعني إحسانا. Remember we studied there's 4 siyagh for a command. You have what? فعل أمر. You have lam al-amr. And then you also have the masdar when it's mansoob. Okay? نائب فعل أمر. يعني أحسن بالوالدين. Is basically what it's saying here. أحسن بالوالدين. Be dutiful to your parents. Be good to your parents. يعني show إحسان towards your parents. Okay? ممتاز. So as a result, because it's a sigha of fi'l amr, then we know it's also a jumla insha'iyya. So we have 3 sentences here, all of them being insha'iyya. Thus we see the wow in between. we see the wow in between. Okay? The wow al-atf. ممتاز. You guys with me so far? طيب. What about these? And this is for the students who are taking our Quranic analysis course. Quranic analysis courses. These are some verses we've studied so far in these shorter chapters of the Quran. Let's try to determine whether these verses are wasl or fasl. Good. Here, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that Allah is one. Allah is as-samad. Yani the self-sufficient, the one who everyone is in need of, but he's free of them. Okay, he's not in need of them. Good. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say, He, Allah is one. Is this insha'iyya or khabariyya? Good. It's insha'iyya. Why? Because there's a command. Okay, there's a command, clear command. Qul. What about the second sentence? Allahu samad. Allah is as-samad. This part of the ayah by itself, good, is khabariyya, mumtaz, right? Because there's no command here. There's no atf to make the command yani, move on to this part of the ayah. Okay? So we have an instance of the first sentence being insha'iyya and the second being khabariyya. So, as a result, there's no wow here. There's no wow mentioned between these two verses. And there's different interpretation as to why that wow is not mentioned there. For those who want to learn the different interpretations, then you can refer back to Arabic 204, Arabic analysis of the four quls. We mentioned a couple different interpretations as to why the wow is not mentioned. Okay, but from this aspect, yani from the Balaagha point of view, this particular interpretation, the wow is not mentioned because this jumla is al-fasl. It is al-fasl. The jumla al-ula is insha'iyya and jumla al-thaniya is al-khabariyya. Mumtaz. What about Surah Al-Kafirun? قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. We have three sentences here. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا, or rather, wa, and then you have لَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. طيب. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. This in and of itself, this part of the verse, or this verse, is it khabariyya or insha'iyya? Why is it insha'iyya? Command. Mumtaz. And also within the command, yani there's nida as well, right? But you take the first word, it's the command. Khalas. Second sentence or ayah, لا أعبد ما تعبدون. Khabariyya. Right? There's no talab or ghayr talab here. Okay? ولا لا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد. The third sentence. Khabariyya or insha'iyya? Khabariyya, mumtaz. Okay? Khabariyya. Okay. Now, we have here a mixture, right? If we take a look at the first two sentences or first two ayats, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, this is insha'iyya. But the second ayah is what? لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. It's khabariyya. So for that reason, there's no harful wow mentioned in between. Because they're different. There's no harful wow. Yani wow, al-wow al-atifa is not mentioned here. But when you take a look at sentence number 2 and 3, both of them are khabariyya. So because both of them are khabariyya, now the wow was mentioned. You guys see the wow here? The wow is mentioned. Okay, because both of them are khabariyya. All right. So ayah 1 and 2 is al-fasl, but ayah 2 and 3 is al-wasl. All right. You guys see why the wow is mentioned, why the wow is placed there? And the last example we'll take is the last chapter we've studied in Arabic 205, Arabic analysis of the Qisar al-Mufassal, part 1. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. All right, we have 4 sentences here. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. Right, we have to identify the sentences. رأيت الناس. Try to get in between. يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. ممتاز. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. Is this a خبرية or إنشائية? خبرية. رأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا. خبرية وإنشائية؟ خبرية. Okay. فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر. خبرية وإنشائية؟ إنشائية. Why is it إنشائية? يعني it's an أمر. It's a command. فسبح. Right? So glorify your Lord, free him from all imperfections. Okay, good. إنه كان توابا. خبرية or إنشائية? ممتاز. خبرية. All right. So we have identified the 4 sentences and we have identified whether it is خبرية or إنشائية. Now let's see if the حرف عطف is mentioned or not. يعني حرف عطف الواو. طيب. Between إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح, this is خبرية and this is خبرية. So therefore, because they're both خبرية, the واو is mentioned in between. You guys see that? So ayah 1, ayah 2, there's a حرف عطف mentioned in between. يعني واو mentioned between the both. What about ayah 2 and ayah 3? الآية الثانية والآية الثالثة. We have a خبرية and then إنشائية. So for that reason, there's no واو عطف mentioned. يعني واو العاطفة is not mentioned. Rather the fa is mentioned. So, يعني ayah 2 and ayah 3 is considered to be al-fasl. Okay? While ayah 1 and 2 is al-wasl. 2 and 3 is al-fasl. Okay? Ayah 3 is insha'iyya. And ayah 4 is what? Khabariyya. And notice there's nothing mentioned in between. There's no wow there, I mean. There's no wow there at all. So therefore, 3 and 4 is considered to be al-fasl. Okay? 3 and 4 are considered to be al-fasl. All right? So these are basically some examples and some exercises of how you can determine whether 2 sentences together are either al-wasl or al-fasl. Okay? First thing you need to do is identify the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 sentences. Okay? How many sentences are in the kalam, in the speech? Then you have to identify whether each sentence is khabariya or insha'iyya. An easy rule is basically every sentence that you come across, think of it as being khabariya. But if there is a command or a nahi or istifham or tamanni or qasam, then you know khalas, okay, this has to be insha'iyya. Okay? That's an easy rule to determine whether it's khabari or insha'iyya. Because khabari is awsa'. Then once you've determined whether the sentence is khabari or insha'iyya, then you have to see whether the sentence that comes after it is khabari or insha'iyya. If they both agree in being khabari or insha'iyya, then khalas, the waw is mentioned. The waw is placed there. But if they don't agree, then the waw is omitted. Okay? The waw is omitted. And either another harf atf was mentioned like aw or thumma or fa, or yani nothing is mentioned at all. You guys understand this so far? Good. I hope everyone understands, because subhanallah bihamdihi, ma'al asaf shadid, you see a lot of people, they say they understand in the classroom, but in the group is a whole different story. SubhanAllah, there's so much. Yani, SubhanAllah bihamdi. It's as if they didn't understand. So I hope everyone really does understand, inshallah ta'ala. So this is the first instance where you have to mention the wow, if both sentences are either khabari or insha'iyya. Now, what's another instance where the wow has to be mentioned, where the sentences have to be al-wasl? Okay? The second instance is if not mentioning the wow will cause confusion of the speaker's intent. Okay, in this case, it also becomes obligatory to mention the wow. Yani, if there's confusion, if not mentioning the wow will cause confusion as to the intent of the speaker, then you have to mention the wow. So, for example, here, Hal qadima Zaydun, did Zayd arrive? Okay, if somebody asks you if Zayd arrived, you respond, La rahimakallah. No, may Allah have mercy on you. Okay, this statement as is, La rahimakallah, you can understand two things from this one statement. You can understand either no, may Allah have mercy on you, or you could understand from it, may Allah not have mercy on you. You understand? The la here, may Allah not have mercy on you. Yani a dua here, صح? Or it's possible to understand one out of two things from this statement. It becomes obligatory to add the wow. It becomes obligatory to say La wa rahimakallah, right? To clarify that you're not making dua against that person, right? You're not making dua against, rather you are what? Making dua for that person. Okay? Likewise, another example, La hadakallah. You can understand no, may Allah guide you, or you can understand may Allah not guide you. Right? Both of these are possible when you read it just like that. Okay? So as a result, it becomes obligatory to write La wahadakallah, to avoid any type of confusion, being in the state of ghumud, right? Ambiguous. Likewise here, Hal shufiya min al-marad, was he cured from the sickness? And the person responds, La shafahullah. You can understand no, may Allah cure him, or you can understand may Allah not cure him. Okay? So to avoid that ghumud, to avoid yani that this phrase of that as mubhama, you would say La wa shafahullah. Okay? This is when the wow would be added. All right? Not mentioning the wow in all of these sentences causes confusion, okay, when you write it. But obviously, yani, is the person making dua for or against? You're not sure, okay? To avoid this possible confusion, the wow is added for clarity, okay? Now, obviously, when you're speaking to somebody, like tahadduth, yani, you're having a conversation with another, you'll know the intent due to how the person says the words, right? If there's a pause, La shafahullah, or yani, you know that the person loves the other, and you know through the context, obviously that person is making dua for the other. Okay, but in writing, if you don't know the person, if you don't know the person's relationship with the other, perhaps it'll become yani, unclear. All right. So these are two instances. These are the two instances where you have to add the wow al-atifah. And that answers the question. What do we call this wow? Remember, we're speaking about al-wow al-atifah. Okay? Not any other type of wow. Like al-wow al-thamina. Does anyone know the wow al-thamina? What is that? if you've taken our Arabic 210 course, we mentioned this type of waw, or al-waw al-thamaniya. It's basically the waw that's mentioned after the 7th word, before the 8th word, right? Like Sur Tahrim is an example. Sur Tawbah as an example. Review Arabic 210 to learn the explanation of that. Good. All right. So now we've learned the instances where it's obligatory to add the waw, and thus the sentences are known as al-wasl. Now we're going to learn those instances where it is obligatory for the sentence to be al-fasl, meaning the waw is not mentioned. Okay? And either huruf al-atifa is mentioned, or there's nothing mentioned at all between those two sentences. Okay? Good. The first instance is if there are two sentences that are connected to each other. Okay? What do we mean by connected to one another? Yani muttasil. What do we mean by that? Yani these two sentences are muttasala. Well, connected can be yani the second sentence is connected to the first sentence because the second sentence has yani a substitute. There's a badal going on. Okay? Examples of this here in Surah Al-Shu'ara of the poets. وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ أَمَدَّكُمْ بِأَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ. All right? Let's take a look at these two verses. The first sentence we have here. وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And keep your duty to him, fear him who has aided you with all good things that you know. The second sentence, أَمَدَّكُمْ بِأَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ. He has aided you with cattle and children. Okay? طيب. If you take a look at these two sentences, there's no waw mentioned in between them. صح? There's no waw that's mentioned in between. Right? But when you take a look at these sentences, we see the word أَمَدَّ. أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ. صح? And then we see in the second ayah, أَمَدَّ is mentioned again. بِمَا أَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ. This second أَمَدَّكُمْ is badal for the first. Okay? And if you've studied either Arabic 210 with us, we've explained badal and the 4 different types. Okay? And for those in our Arabic 310 course, Nahu, we're going to explain it again. We have class for that as well. But basically, أَمَدَّكُمْ الثَّانِيَةِ is the badal, and the first one, الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ is the mubdal minhu. صح? So because we have al-badal here, al-kul min kul, there's no waw mentioned in between them both. Okay, it doesn't say وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ وَأَمَدَّكُمْ بِأَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ. La, the waw is not mentioned. Why? Because we have badal here. Okay, how do we recognize this? If you erase the mubdal min, al-mubdal minhu, yani the first one, this one right here, if you were to erase this first one, the meaning is still correct. Yani, if you were to erase this whole entire sentence and just said وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي, يعني غير القرآن of course, طبعا, وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِأَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ, this sentence right here is correct. It is correct. Okay? It is still correct. So in this instance, you don't have to mention the waw if there's badal. If the second sentence is a badal for the first sentence. Okay, for a word in the first sentence. You guys understand that? This is why the wow is not mentioned. This is why the wow is not mentioned. طيب. Another example here. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay. SubhanAllah, these ayats look very familiar. What chapter is these ayats from? These ayats look very familiar. Good, ahsant. From Surah Al-Fatiha. Notice the first sentence, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Second sentence, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم وضالين. Okay. Why is there no wow mentioned here in between these two sentences? Why is there no wow here? The reason why there's no wow is because this word right here, the second sentence, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, is badal for اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Okay, this is the mubdal minhu. Okay, so because there's a badal mentioned after the mubdal minhu, you don't have to mention the wow. The wow is not mentioned. Rather, it becomes obligatory to erase the wow. If you add the wow there, it's a mistake. If you say اهدنا الصراط المستقيم والصراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم والضالين, لا, it's a mistake. If you add that wow. And if you were to actually erase صراط المستقيم altogether, and you were to say يعني غير القرآن, just a regular dua, اهدنا صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, it is also still correct. Yani the meaning is still correct. Because what is the Sirat al-Mustaqim in reality? What is Sirat al-Mustaqim? It is Sirat al-Ladhina an'amta alayhim ghayr al-maghdubi alayhim wa dhalin. Right? That's the Sirat al-Mustaqim. So, for that reason, there's no wow mentioned in between these two ayat. Okay, ayat 10. Because we have a badal. And this is the first instance of when two sentences are considered to be al-fasl. So these two ayat, these two sentences are al-fasl. Okay. Likewise, these two ayat are also al-fasl. Mumtaz? Ahsant. All right. And remember, this is A. This is A. We're still talking about two sentences being connected to one another. Connection, here A, if there's a substitute, badal. A second connection, when we say connection, another connection can be is if the second sentence clarifies, yani is a bayan for the first. Okay, this is another type of connection. And where you have to erase the wow. The wow cannot be mentioned. Here's an example for Surah Taha. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says what? فوسوس إليه الشيطان قال يا آدم هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. Then Shaitan whispered to him, saying, O Adam, shall I lead you to the tree of eternity and to a kingdom that will never waste away? طيب. Let's first identify where are the two sentences. فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانُ is the first sentence. Then Shaitan whispered to him. Okay. The second sentence is قَالَ يَا آدَمُ هَلْ أَدُلُّكَ عَلَى شَجْرَةِ الْخُلْدِ وَمُلْكٍ لَا يَبْلَى. Okay. If you notice, there's no wow here. Why is there no wow here? The reason why there's no wow is because the second sentence clarifies the first. Yani, it clarifies that Shaitan whispered to Adam. Okay? Meaning that when Shaitan made this statement, shall I not lead you to the tree of eternity? He didn't say it to him in a regular speech. Okay, nor did he say in a loud, he didn't yell at him. Okay, rather what? He whispered to him. Okay, he whispered this statement to him in his heart. Okay, he whispered it to him. Shall I not lead you, or shall I lead you to the tree of eternity? So therefore, the whisper is being clarified in the second sentence. Okay, the statement that was whispered is clarified in the second sentence. Okay, so Jumla Thaniya clarifies the first. Yani, what was whispered to Adam alayhi salam is clarified in the second sentence. So for that reason, there's no wow mentioned there. Okay? But let's just say, yani, غير القرآن, not in the Quran, just a regular statement. If we were to say, فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانُ wa, if we were to add that wow there, what would happen? Okay? What would happen? Then this sentence would mean that Shaitan didn't whisper his statement. Basically, if you add that wow there, the second sentence does not become a clarification of the first. Rather, it becomes its own independent sentence. It becomes its own independent sentence. Meaning, when he made that statement to Adam, he didn't make it while whispering. He just said it in a regular speech or any other type of speech that is not considered to be whispering. Okay, he conveyed that message to him, not whispering. And that is like the, subhanAllah, the difference between one letter, right? It changes the entire meaning of the ayah. Okay, the meaning changes completely, subhanAllah. And this is why there's no wow attached between the two sentences. All right? These two verses are considered to be al-fasl. Yani these two verses is al-fasl because there's no wow mentioned between these two sentences. Why? Because the second jumla is clarifying the first jumla. You guys understand that? Okay, so this is another instance of two sentences being connected to one another. Now, let's take a look at the third instance of there being connection. Okay, and that is when the second sentence emphasizes, yani there's ta'keed to the first. Here's an example from Surah Al-Tariq. فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla says what could be translated to mean, so give a respite to the disbelievers, deal you gently with them for a while. فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. First, identify the two sentences. First, فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ is the first sentence. أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. Second sentence. Notice that there's no wow. Why is there no wow? Because the second sentence is providing emphasis of the first. The second sentence is providing emphasis for the first. And Mufassirun, they say that the words mahil and amhil are mutaradifan, are synonyms to one. They mean the same word. They mean the same thing. Okay? They have the same meaning. They have the same meaning. So if you were to say مثلا غير Quran, right, just regular example, if you were to say فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ مَهِّلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا, right, the verb is repeated twice. It's the same thing as saying فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. Likewise here, if you were to say فَأَمْهِلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا, repeat the verb twice. It's the same thing as saying فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. All right? It has the same exact meaning. So, because they have the same exact meaning, what's the purpose of saying amhilhum ruwaida? Yani to provide emphasis. To provide emphasis. Yani give them respite and deal with them gently. With tawkeed in it. All right? And in this instance, yani when the second sentence emphasizes the first sentence, there's no wow. There's no wow mention. Okay? And this is an example of al-fasl. This is an example of al-fasl. So basically, there are three instances of when sentence 1 and 2 are connected to one another. Okay, you have A. There's a substitute in sentence number 2. B. There's a bayan. Sentence number 2 is a bayan, clarification of the first sentence. And you have C, when the second sentence is a emphasizer or provides emphasis to the first sentence. Okay? طيب. Another example. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. ذلك الكتاب, one sentence. لا ريب فيه, second sentence. Okay? One interpretation is that لا ريب فيه is emphasizing that being al-kitab, being the Quran. Okay, and in this case, if we take that interpretation, if sentence number 2 is indeed an emphasizer, then that's the reason why the wow is not mentioned. That's the reason why it does not say ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ وَلَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Okay, that's the reason why the wow is not mentioned, and thus being al-fasl. Al-fasl. All three of these instances, yani al-badal, al-tawqid, al-bayan, the second sentence is connected to the first. For this reason, they are all considered to be al-fasl. And if you want to be more detailed, they are referred to as kamalu ittisal. Yani there's a complete connection between sentence 1 and sentence 2. There's a complete connection between sentence 1 and sentence 2. Okay, they're referred to as kamalu ittisal. You guys with me? Any questions? And this phrase we wrote right here, التفنن في العبارة, this is basically a rule in the Arabic language that basically, you know how we said just now, mahil and amhil mean the same word. They mean the same, they have the same meaning. So basically when you have like this construction where you have two words that have the same meaning but they're both mentioned, this is known as التفنن في العبارة. That's the Arabic term for this structure here, where you could replace the second verb with the first verb and it still has the same meaning, or vice versa. All right, any questions? SubhanAllah, it's already 3 o'clock. Yeah, it can also be لا ريب فيه as well. The word is right here, look. It's already written out for you. You guys looking at the screen or yani looking at the wall? Allahu alam. Okay. So we'll take a short break, Bismillah ta'ala, and we'll move on to the other instances where two sentences have to be al-fasl. Okay? We'll return back at 3:15. It's about 12 minutes. Inshallah ta'ala. Subhanahu.